Good afternoon. My name is Danielle and I'm Head Teacher Enrolments at New South Wales School of Languages. Welcome and a big thank you for joining us. I would like to acknowledge the Gadigal and Wangal people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we learn and work together and commit to building relationships, respect and opportunities for all Aboriginal people in our community. Thank you for attending our Supervisors information session, and a big thank you for all the valuable work you do as supervisors. Today's session has been pre-recorded and we will upload it to our webpage shortly. If you have any questions, please place them in the Q&A and our team will respond to you. We are a school of the New South Wales Department of Education. Our students come from government and non-government schools. We teach purely languages and English as an additional language or dialect, EALD. We teach in accordance with New South Wales Educational Standards Authority, NESA syllabuses. We are distance education only. This is how you access the Supervisors information page on our website. There is a lot of information on there that you will find beneficial to your role as a supervisor. Please familiarise yourself with the Supervisors information booklet on the Supervisors page. On this page, you will find the link to the DEMS school portal, course codes for NESA's confirmation of entry on Schools Online, the link to the PowerPoint slides presented at the 2026 Supervisors Day, and the link to this recording on our YouTube channel. Also on this page, you can access the guides for the DEMS school portal, such as how to upload the school agreement, enrolment forms, and student photos. The official relationship is between New South Wales School of Languages, NSL, and the student school, in addition to the communication between the teacher and the student. We communicate with you as a representative of your school, such as lesson day notifications, assessment information, lateness of work, and warning letters. Parents are included in newsletters, invitation to parent information sessions, parent-teacher interviews, as well as warning letters. Supervisors will receive all notifications. Distance education is not for everyone. As per NESA requirements, a student must consistently demonstrate that they are engaged with the course they study. Little or no communication with the NSL teacher and non-engagement with the coursework results in warning letters and, in some extreme cases, end determinations. Before enrolling a student with us, you really need to consider if that student is suited to distance education. This is also part of the school agreement with us. For a student to succeed in distance education, the student needs to be an independent learner who is highly motivated, organised and proactive. Our courses require activities and assessments of listening, speaking, reading and writing skills. You need to consider if you are able to support all your students and be available to all of them as outlined in the school agreement and the Supervisor information booklet. Supervisors, please tell your students that the new NSL weekly speaking lesson is mandatory and is similar to the flipped classroom. They will get the most out of their speaking lesson when they have prepared for it and done most of the module's work. Now I will take you through the enrolment process. Applications for the 2027 school year will open on Thursday, the 23rd of July. Just a reminder that the enrolment form is to be downloaded and saved, completed and forwarded to the supervisor. When it is printed and then filled out or completed on a desktop and then printed, all of the entered content may not be visible. I will cover some aspects of enrolment that are particular to distance education policies, such as intake areas, quotas, and the unit policy. Our intake goes beyond the Sydney metropolitan area, ranging from west to Katoomba, south to Port Kembla, and north to Norah Head. If your school is outside this area, you will be in a catchment area to another distance education provider. If your local distance education provider is at capacity for the course, you may apply to NSL. Evidence must be attached to the application of your local distance education provider being at capacity for the desired course. EALD at NSL is for rural and regional students only. Outside of NSL and Finnegan School of Distance Education catchment areas. EALD students in our area should apply to Finnegan School of Distance Education unless they are at capacity. Evidence must be attached to the application. All non-government schools need to apply to Finnegan. You can apply to NSL if your local distance education provider does not offer the requested language. Please refer to the present slide for the list of languages taught exclusively at NSL. The number of students you may enrol at NSL is dependent on your quota and if the application is in or out of quota. If the school has 500 or more students, the school's in-quota limit is 6. That means they are entitled to 6 new in-quota positions per annum across all distance education providers. You can't ring up Camden Haven Distance Education School and say, look, I'm over my quota at NSL. I'd like to have a student enroll in Italian beginners at your school. It is your school's responsibility to comply with the policy. We will remind you when your school has reached its in-quota limit with enrolments made to NSL. New applications can be defined as follows. Students applying to start a new course or existing students applying for Year 11. Existing NSL students enrolling in extension courses are not considered a new student. Once applications are approved and if they are in quota, they are counted towards the total of new applications. Students are considered either in quota or out of quota. Here are the descriptions of the in quota applications. We assign a category to enrolments based on the information in the application form unless we're advised in writing by you or your principal that we are to enroll them in an out of quota category. The majority of students will be allocated 3.1.1 or 3.1.2 as explained on the slide. A student is out of quota when they move schools. For example, when a student leaves their original school where they already started studying a language at NSL and then moves to the new school, which also does not offer the language the student studies at NSL. So the student can continue studying. We accept that student outside the quota of the new school. A change of school form is required. Students are also not counted in your quota if they have studied a language at their previous school and that language is not offered at the new school. We can accept that student so that they can continue their studies. In this case, a new enrolment application form needs to be completed. Students studying Latin, Indonesian, and Portuguese are not counted in your quota. Students move out of quota when a small cohort is created for between 2 to 5 students who are studying the same language course. When there are more than 5 students accessing a course, the Distance Education Unit considers this enough justification for the school to consider employing a teacher to cater for the students' needs. Let's say you have 6 students applying to study with us. They are all interested in different courses. The 6th student, the little person in red, is applying to study French beginners in Year 11. Then a 7th student also wants to study French beginners in Year 11. The 6th and the 7th students, both wanting to study French beginners in Year 11, now become a small cohort and are not counted towards the school quota. So now you have a spot in your distance education in quota allocation. You can have up to 5 students per small cohort. Please note, the small cohort policy applies only to languages. It does not apply to any other subjects within distance education. I wanted to quickly cover the units and elective policy for distance education. Distance education is designed to be a safety net to ensure students can attain their ROSA or HSC. This ensures distance education is well-resourced and can continue to serve those who need it most. For this reason, Year 9 and 10 students may not have more than the total number of permitted electives at their school, including the NSL subject. Year 11 students may not have more than 13 units and no more than 12 units in Year 12, including the NSL language. Year 12 extension students cannot be studying 13 units for the first 4 weeks of Term 4. Year 11 students cannot be studying 14 or 15 units for the first 4 to 8 weeks of Term 1. Such a scenario does not allow the students to succeed in their NSL course, as the students are overloaded and do not have time to engage in their course. This also does not meet the distance education requirements, and I will ask you to rectify the units for the student. Students enrolling into Year 9 and into Year 11 will require a new application form even if they are continuing to study the same language. Enrolment from Year 10 into Year 11 is not automatic. Students with an existing NSL enrolment continuing into their second year of study do not submit an application. This applies to Year 9 going into Year 10 and Year 11 going into Year 12. You will, however, need to let us know via the DEMS school portal if these students intend to continue or not into their second year. Janana Saab, our head teacher teaching and learning, will go through this with you, and instructions will be emailed to you in Term 3. The school agreement needs to be completed once a year by the principal and the supervisor prior to the submission of enrolment forms via the DEMS school portal. The portal will not allow you to upload an application form unless the school agreement has been uploaded and approved. The school agreement can be found on the website under About Us and Enroll. Scroll down to Supporting Enrolment Forms and select School Agreement. I would now like to introduce you to Janan Assad, Head Teacher, Teaching and Learning and Technology and E-Learning.
Thank you very much, Danielle. Hello, everyone. I'm Janan Assad, Head Teacher, Technology and E-Learning at the New South Wales School of Languages. In this part of the information session, I would like to take you through some of the features available in the school portal for monitoring student progress and engagement in their language courses. I will also be taking you through general features of the DEMS school portal, how to upload a school agreement, the online application process, the intention to continue process, and the withdrawal process. Each one of those quite easy to do online, but have different purposes. So our official bespoke database is called DEMS, Distance Education Management System. We have two school portals associated with DEMS. One is DEMS for schools, so for supervisors such as yourselves, and the other for parents and carers. It provides access to a register of all communications we have had with your child, or with your students, sorry. Through this portal, you can also see teacher comments and feedback on work submissions that have been made and recorded in our learning management system, Canvas. You can download academic reports, view assessment results, and complete the tasks such as school agreement upload, complete the online applications, intention to continue, and withdrawing students, all within this portal. In terms of accessing student content, you will see a list of all students at your school studying with us. To go into each individual student, you will need to click on the View Content for each student. This will give you the details of the class and teacher contact details, the students' mark book results, their reports to download, and a list of all the register and communications available to you on the portal. You can also have a look at attendance. Attendance at New South Wales School of Languages is in relation to the students' participation and attendance in their speaking lesson. To view the attendance calendar, you simply click on the heading Attendance, and this display will appear on your screen. Students' attendance is marked by the purple border around the date in which the speaking lesson has taken place. If the student has missed a lesson, there will be a red border on the date on the calendar. This is a really good display to see at a glance how well the student has been engaged and how many lessons they have missed for their language course. I will now speak to you about uploading the school agreement through the school portal. Schools wishing to enrol students at New South Wales School of Languages need to submit a school agreement via this portal each year. For schools who have not previously enrolled with us, contact us to provide you with the portal username and password. Each school receives one password only, and this can be shared with the principal, the deputy principals, and any other supervisor at your school. The steps are quite easy, and there are the instructions on our NSL website. I will take you through each step by step. So, uploading your school agreement, you must select the My School section of the DEMS school portal. Ensure that the year is set to 2027 as the agreement is for the new upcoming year. If you wish to change your school's password, please do so on this page. However, please don't forget to notify the principal and any other supervisor taking care of and supervising our students at your school. Step 2, click on the DEC Files heading on the top menu. Click on the agreement document for New South Wales School of Languages to download and complete the agreement. Once you have finished reading thoroughly and going through the document, please click on the School Agreements heading on the top menu. From the Select a DE School drop-down list, select New South Wales School of Languages. Click on the Choose File button to upload the completed school agreement, and then on the Upload Agreement for Selected DE School button. This ensures that your completed school agreement is recorded in the portal. Once it has uploaded, the system will automatically rename the file, and you will see a file successful upload message in green which will appear on your screen. Once our NSL enrolment staff approves the school agreement, a yes will appear in the approved column, and your school will receive a confirmation email to state that we have received your school agreement and you may now move on to making the online applications for your students at your school. So before applying, a reminder, schools must have already submitted the school agreement on the DEMS portal for 2027 and also received approval for the school agreement by NSL. So that's where you saw the yes in that column. Having done all of that, we are now ready to enroll our students. So the online application process can be summarized in 4 particular steps. Step 1 is for where you enter application details for the student. Step 2 is where you select the student course. Step 3 is where you upload the enrolment information or enrolment form or any other documentation required. And step 4 is your application summary, where you can have a look at the whole application and make changes as required. So how do we go about doing an online application? It's quite simple. You just follow these steps. Access the portal, select the year. Please remember it is for 2027 for next year's students who would like to study a language with us. Make sure the year is set to 2027. Then you click on the enrolments heading on the left side menu of the portal. Click on online applications and click on add new enrolment. Please ensure you've got all of the necessary information required so that you can start inputting the information in the portal. So what do we need to fill in? We need to fill in all of the fields that have the red asterisks. The Earn field, however, will not appear for students enrolled in non-gov schools at this stage. In the DE school field, please select New South Wales School of Languages from the drop-down list. If the school does not appear, please ensure you have uploaded your school agreement and it has been approved by NSL. In the Supervisor field, select an existing supervisor listed in DEMS. If the supervisor is not on the list, the application can still be uploaded. However, please contact NSL to add the supervisor. Once the required information has been entered, click on the bottom grey button called Create Online Application for 2027. This will now take you to step 2 of the process, where it's a simple case of choosing the course, the student's course that they would like to study with us from the drop-down list. The course will appear listed on the screen, and if the incorrect course has been accidentally selected, no problem. Click on the red X and that will allow you to select the proper course, the appropriate course again. Now click on, after you have done that, click on the application files heading to move on to step 3. Step 3 will allow you to upload a file to the student's application form and also upload any accompanying documents. Please note, creating a profile and not uploading an enrolment form does not hold a place for the student. Without an enrolment form, the application process cannot really begin. So please make sure that you have uploaded all the necessary information to secure that spot for the student. For government schools, please upload the student photo. Please note the photo type and size restrictions that the system accepts. For non-government school students, please upload the photo once the enrolment has been finalised. Please do not use the upload a file option to upload the photo. So we now are on the last step of the entire process, and that is the application summary. The student's application form and photo, if the option was available, should now appear. Click on the application summary heading to view the details and to review. The summary now should appear for you. Click on the enrolment application to check the status of the enrolment form. The status set for your online application has been set to lodge you may click on the paper and pencil icon to amend any details or change the course or upload files and review the application again. You can also delete the entire application if there has been a change of mind in the lodge status by clicking on the red X beside the paper and pencil icon. After you have uploaded your application and within 15 working days, please check your online application in the DEMS portal. If the status has changed to pending, that indicates that we have begun processing your application. Click on the notepad icon next to the status, which is circled there on the snapshot on the screen, and that will indicate that we have assigned an application reference number for that enrolment, for that application. Find the reference number, which should appear in the bottom section under application notes. Please quote this reference number when contacting and inquiring about the application. Once the enrolment has been finalised and approved, the status will be changed to approved. An automatic email will be sent to the home school email address and CC to the supervisor. This tells you that the application has now been approved and ready for next year. So now I would like to take you to another process called intention to continue. A student's intention to continue their language learning at NSL for the following years is completed and processed through the DEMS school portal. Supervisors are kindly asked to discuss with Year 9 and Year 11 students their intention to continue their language learning at New South Wales School of Languages for Year 10 and Year 12 in 2027. There's a very important note here that we have added in this presentation as a reminder that the intention to continue process is not the same as and not designed for withdrawing students. It is designed solely to ascertain and generate a list of students who intend to continue with us, the language studies, in 2027 for the purpose of rollover. There is a different process for withdrawing students in the system, and this will be covered shortly. So how do we go about completing the intention to continue process? In your portal, please select the My School section and ensure that this time the year is set to 2026, as we want to know our current students and their intention for next year. Step 2, click on the Continuing heading on the left side menu, and a list of students enrolled with us will appear on your screen. In the Continuing column, please select either Yes or No according to the student's intention from the drop-down list. If you are unsure whether the student will be continuing, please leave this blank. Once completed, press the Update Enrolments button to save your selection. This will now lead us to the withdrawal process. The withdrawal process, withdrawing students can be completed through the DEMS school portal, and this is strictly for students not continuing currently in this current year. Students not continuing the following year are not to be withdrawn in term 4. Please use the Continuing section of DEMS instead to let us know their intention to continue. So how do we go about withdrawing a student via the portal? Step 1, access the My School section in the school portal and ensure the year is 2026. You are now very accustomed to seeing this display in your portal. Step 2, click on the Withdrawal heading on the left side menu, and in the drop down of the Withdrawal column, click on the word Confirm. In the Reason column, explain the reason for the withdrawal and then click on the Update Enrolment button to save the confirmation. Please note, the Reason column must be filled in to confirm the withdrawal. If the student is moving schools, enter the name of the new school in the Reason field. That way, we know to either withdraw the student from the course or await the change of school form from the new school the student will be attending. If the student is being withdrawn during the reporting writing period, please note that their withdrawal will be kept on hold as the student needs to be active for an academic report to be issued and sent to the student and the parent. Finally, I would like to thank you so much for your help and your supervision that you provide our students at New South Wales School of Languages. You are very much appreciated, and we do thank you for all the hard work you put in. If you experience any technical issues with the systems or any of the processes that I have gone through in this section of the presentation, please let us know as soon as possible, and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you again, and I will now pass you over to Helen, who will present her slides of this presentation.
Hi, I am Helen Sarantopoulos. I am a teacher at NSL, assisting Danielle and the enrolments team. I will talk to you further about the enrolment process. All documents pertaining to enrolling students can be found on the website by going to the home page and selecting About Us, then Enroll. Scroll down to get to the 2027 Year 9, 10, 11 and 12 enrolment form and the 2027 EALD form for years 11 and 12. All applications must be uploaded by your school to the DEMS portal. Our enrolments open on Thursday, the 23rd July 2026. Please do not complete any forms that state 2026, as these are outdated. You can access more information on filling out the form from the how-to guides on the enrolments page on our website. Start by downloading the form, save it to your computer, and open it in Adobe Reader. If you or the student start filling the form in the browser, it may not save the entered content. Please ask the students and parents to right-click on the downloaded file and select Open in Adobe Reader. Adobe Reader is free, and within it you can create digital signatures. We prefer application forms to be completed digitally because these are easier and clearer for us to process, with fewer errors, less unreadable information, missed fields, or missing pages. If applications are filled messily by hand, photocopied incorrectly, or with pages omitted, we will return the form to you, adding time to the approval process. On this page, you will also find the Statutory Declaration. A statutory declaration is a NESA requirement for applications for the following Year 11 courses: all beginners courses, Chinese, Japanese and Korean continuous courses, Chinese and Korean in context courses. It is the supervisors and students' responsibility to submit the statutory declaration. We cannot finalise applications without the statutory declaration. This is the NESA Eligibility Criteria for entry into the various courses. If a student is deemed ineligible and the student wishes to appeal the NSL decision, we will request that the NESA Languages Eligibility Determination form be submitted. We encourage you to check the enrolment application form before sending it to us, as you cannot change or add to the eligibility section of an enrolment form once it has been submitted. Please remember that when a student states on our application form that they speak a language sometimes, it means that they can sustain a conversation. The Formal Education Table, or FET for short, on page 5 should be fully completed. Here is an example of a perfect formal education table by a Year 10 student enrolling into Year 11. It outlines the country of study, the language of instruction, and languages learnt in detail. From this, we can state without a doubt that the student has not left out significant in-country experiences or several years of education in the language requested. Please check that the formal education table is filled in correctly. The education table is very important as the enrolment teams needs to determine whether there is proof of eligibility for the course according to NESA criteria. If the education table is almost completely empty, such as this one, we cannot ascertain that the student has studied, or if they've received schooling elsewhere, or anything about the language of instruction for any year other than Year 10. This must be sent back to the school for more information by NSL. From this education table, we cannot determine compliance with NESA eligibility criteria. The instructions state to write none if not applicable. We require the student to at least list the schools they have attended, the country they attended school, and what language classes were instructed in, as all of these are relevant to the NESA eligibility criteria review. The number of electives permitted at your school for Year 9 and 10 is recorded in the school agreement. When a student writes that they are studying above the number of electives permitted to study in Years 9 and 10, as per your school agreement, we will email you and enter a message in the notes section of the student's online application profile in the DEMS portal to confirm the number of electives being studied. A student cannot study a language with us as an extra or additional elective. This is distance education policy. Furthermore, the language course studied through NSL must be scheduled on the student's timetable. If the total number of units exceeds the limit of 13 for Year 11 and 12 units for Year 12, then the student must state the subject that they will be discontinuing before commencing at NSL. Leaving this field blank or writing to TBA will delay the enrolment. A Stage 6 student studying more than the allowed number of units, because the school has a rule that students do additional courses for Term 1 to see if they like them or not, is a breach of distance education policy and the homeschool's contract with us. Excess units creates a very stressful scenario for students. It also sets them up for failure in their NSL language course, as they simply cannot cope with the volume of work doing 14 and 15 units. When a teacher at NSL informs me their student has no time in their timetable to do their NSL speaking lessons, we will contact the school and ask the excess units to be dropped. Failing that, we will withdraw the student. Additionally, all speaking lessons are to occur from school and not from home. When a student is ill, the student and teacher will need to arrange a mutually convenient time for a catch-up lesson. We often receive forms that have the student's name missing, the course they intend to study, or their contact email omitted. Whilst our team is chasing information, applications do not move forward. As the courses fill up, your student could miss out. This causes stress and anxiety for the students, and then for the parents and consequently for yourselves. As the supervisor, it is essential you check through each student's application form prior to submission. If the parents have indicated on the form that the child receives learning support, you need to provide the learning plan. If the parents have indicated the student experiences anaphylaxis and/or asthma, you need to provide the anaphylaxis and/or asthma plan. Submitting a partially completed application form will not guarantee the student a place in the course. If we receive an application with missing information, such as course requested, distance education eligibility criteria, and/or NESA eligibility criteria, your application will be placed on hold and delayed. Please submit the application form via the DEMS school portal. Within 15 working days, we will enter a reference number into the application notes section at the bottom of each online application profile, letting you know that we have started processing. The status will change from lodged to pending. The reference number does not guarantee approval of enrolment. We will advise you of the missing information via email and in the DEMS notes section of the profile you created as part of the online application. If we do not receive the requested information within 3 weeks of the request, we will decline the application. Missing information should be sent to the enrolment's email and include the student's name and reference number in the subject field. Once the status of the application is changed to approved in the DEMS school portal, you and your school will receive an email of the approval. Enrolment submissions peak from October to the end of February. As each application is individually checked and entered into our database, please expect several weeks processing time during this peak period. For non-government schools, once each application has been approved, NSL processes payment, which is made by the home school, not the parent. There have been changes to the management fee and the refund policy. Please refer to the enrolment section of our website. It is important that you advise your business manager of these changes. Please remember, if you, the supervisor, go on leave, please tell us ahead of time. Tell us who your replacement will be and who to redirect emails to so we can continue to communicate. We will tell the teachers of your students and adjust the details in our database. Please also tell us when your students will be taking leave and forward to us the leave request documentation, advising if the leave has been approved or not approved by your principal. On this slide, it states the due date for the Year 12 applications is the 11th of September. However, I ask that the applications for recognition of prior learning into Year 12 to be submitted by the 28th of August, that is week 6 of term 3, and Year 10 applications for acceleration to be submitted by the 23rd of October, which is week 2 of term 4, as a lot of time is required for these enrolments to be processed. We would like to have your enrolments well before the 6th of November for years 9, 10 and 11. When applications are submitted early, your students and school community can be assured that they will start their course on time. A submission after the 6th of November cannot guarantee your student will start their course day 1, term 1 of 2027. There could be 2 to 4 weeks of catch-up work for your student as a result.
Hi there again. I wanted to show you the Stage 5 languages we offer at our school. Please refer to the Languages tab of the NSL website for the courses offered in these languages. These are the courses offered in Stage 6. Please be aware that for Stage 6 Latin continuers and Portuguese continuers, the study of Stage 5 or equivalent experience is assumed knowledge for the Stage 6 courses. Please refer to the Language tab of the NSL website for more information. If you have any questions about today's presentation, please submit them via the Q&A section. There are also Janan's and the enrolment team's contact details on the screen. And here are my contact details. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to receiving your applications for 2027.